Evening folks, Caroline here, and today I wanted to share with you sentiment that came up on a couple of coaching calls that I did today with members in slightly different guises, but it was all about suffering, possibly unnecessary suffering, based on the stories we tell ourselves up here. Now let me give an example. Something I see an awful lot, and I went through as well, so totally relate to it, with people on the journey here, is a feeling of pressure, that builds and can become quite intense in terms of progress and results, and feeling like you're not going as fast as you wanted to, as you thought you would, as you feel you should, and that becoming crippling at some point. And if I had a pound or a dollar for every time somebody said to me, Caroline, I need to make this work. This needs to work. I need to make money with this, and I need to make it soon, or else ... fill in the blank. And I get it. I totally get it. I was there. I was within a month of running out of money, a year into this program when I joined, and it was horrible. In fact, the 4 months prior to that point, the anticipation of getting to the point of running out of money was crippling. And it got to the point a couple of months before that moment, and that was in the summer of 2020, when I was just like, I just wish, can somebody just take the money I've got left and just take it away, because I want to get to that crux point as soon as possible, because I can't live like this. I can't keep living under this constant grey black cloud of doom and gloom of it's all going to fall apart, it's all going to, what happens when I run out of money, what happens when I can't market anymore, what happens when I can't keep roof over my head anymore. And this, yeah, it was horrible. To be quite honest, it was not a nice place to be, and I was not a nice person. I was trying my best to be a good person. I was trying my best to be friendly, helpful, positive, inspiring, uplifting in the community. But inside, I was like, what have I done wrong? What have I missed? I'm an intelligent woman. I've worked so hard. I've worked hard for months now. I've done everything. I've done everything everybody's told me to do, and it's still not working. And it's working for other people, so it's got to be me. What's wrong with me? And if that's you right now, I hear you, I feel you. But I want to say to you that it's all up here. It's not all up here. I mean, it's in here too. As you know, it's a feeling we go through. But it doesn't last. You will get through it. And this is me now looking from the other side. What am I for? 2020, 2025, nearly 5 years on from that moment. And I was saying to somebody today who was feeling like that, she said, Caroline, she kept rebooking calls with me. She kept cancelling because she didn't feel ready, because she wasn't as far ahead as she wanted to be, or she hadn't achieved what she wanted to achieve. And the pressure of not having achieved it made her feel worse, increased her anxiety, made her ill, which meant that she then wasn't able to do the work. And then she felt even worse for being even further behind. And it was just this spiral. And bless her, we had a beautiful chat today. Just wanted to give her a hug. But I said to her, looking back now, looking from where I am now, looking at my journey, I have achieved everything I set out to achieve, and more, way more than I could have ever imagined. But it took me longer than I wanted, and it took me longer than I expected, than I hoped, and that I felt it should do. But the me that's sitting here now, 3 years on, 4 years on, 5 years on, looking back, just wants to go back to that version of me back then, give her a big hug and say, you've got this, you're on the right path, trust the process, trust the journey, face your demons head on, and not keep avoiding them. Every time I hit the same brick wall, I would try and go around it this way, I would try and go around it that way, I would try and go over it, I'd try and go on. I'd do everything except face the demons that were my demons at the time. And if this is you, there's something that you need to learn. There's something that the universe, the world is trying to teach you right now. And you're avoiding it, I believe. And what got me through that was it got to the point where I had no choice but to surrender. I had no choice. I'd tried everything. I'd held on so tight. I'd cut down my expenses. I'd stopped spending money on practically anything. I stopped seeing any friends. I'd cut so much out of my life. I was a hermit. I was working from morning till night, 7 days a week, and burning myself out. And in the end, I had to surrender, and I had to say, right, I'm done. There's nothing more I can do, and I've run out of options. I give up. No, I give up. I didn't give up, but you know, come on. What more do you want? What am I going to do? I'm spent. And something beautiful happened in that moment when I let go, and when I just let all the chips fall and all the cookies crumble, or whatever it is, whatever the saying is. All of a sudden, just this weight, this pressure, just that I'd been under for months now, almost a year by this point. Well, probably the first 6 months, the first 4 to 5 months of the journey were exciting. They were thrilling. They were energizing. I was like, I'm on a path. I'm on a journey here. I can see where it's going. The future looks amazing. All my dreams, you know, I believe all my dreams can come true. I've got surrounded by great people who believe in me, people who believe in this process. I'm just right. I just got to do it. But from about 6 months in to 12, 13 months in, that was hard. But that point of surrender, and I just let go, and I was just like, throw it at me. You know, I've already survived losing my job. I've already survived losing my best friend. I can survive losing, you know, anything else, whatever it takes. Just throw it at me now. I'm done. And what started to happen in that moment, and in the weeks leading after that, when that pressure was off, and that need and that clinging so tight, that not putting ads out there because I was afraid of spending the money or afraid of getting it wrong, or it had to be, you know, I had to put everything was resting on this one ad that just had to be the one that was going to make it, because otherwise I was going to die, was the feeling inside. But when I surrendered, all of a sudden I could see opportunities, I could see answers, and the universe just carried me in the weirdest ways. Money arrived from nowhere, from random places. Opportunities arrived, teachers arrived, mentors arrived. Stuff appeared on my feed in Facebook that told me what I needed to know, what I needed to do next. Coaches reached out and offered me jobs, and just all the just opportunities, which were probably, to be honest, there before. I just didn't see them or wasn't ready to see them. Suddenly started cropping up, exactly what I needed when I needed it, no more, no less. And then I started to rebuild. Then I started to let go of how it had to be and who I had to be, and just embrace what was. Embrace what was, put one foot in front of the other, trust, have faith, surrender, and just keep plodding on. And it was that plodding on, that just looking for opportunities, taking them when they arose, not being wedded to, well, that's not how I wanted it to be, or that's not how so-and-so said it should be. So my mentor, my coach, or, you know, or Stuart, or whoever on Facebook, or whatever marketing guru, and just decided to make decisions for myself, by myself, trusting my gut, based on what I could see and not what I felt and thought. And things started to work out. And it was from there that I started to build myself back up again, but in a way where I wasn't under all this weight of pressure, and I was able to be free and flowing and expressive and allow the journey to reveal itself to me. And the me that's looking at you now from 5 years on, even from like 2 years on from that point, is so grateful that I went through that, because it forced me to let go, and it forced me to change. And in that moment I changed and grew, and allowed myself to not have to know it all, not have to do it all on my own. I learned to ask for help. I learned to accept help. I learned to accept things that I wouldn't have otherwise accepted. Jobs, for example, contracts, bits of work, all sorts of things, because all of a sudden I'd let go of how it had to be. And so for any of you that are struggling right now, I also want to share with you one little piece of advice that a mentor who was so dear to me and unfortunately lost his battle with cancer yesterday and passed on. And one of the things, JJ, you taught me was every time I could hear myself say, I need, he said, no, you don't. The only things you need, Caroline, are food, water and air. That's all you need. That's all your body needs to survive. Everything else is a bonus. Everything else is what you deserve. So every time you hear yourself say, I need, ... stop for a second, pause and replace that word need with, I deserve. I deserve to make money. I deserve to be successful. I deserve to find the love of my life. I deserve to lose weight. I deserve to feel full of energy. I deserve to do work that's fulfilling. I deserve to share my message with the world. I deserve to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed, to be understood. I deserve to be loved. And it reframes everything. And then it takes away that need, that lack, that scarcity, and replaces it with abundance. So, God, that was a long video. Sorry, folks. I thought this was going to be a short one today. I've just seen Az's video and he's trying to keep it under 3 minutes. And I was like, that's a great idea. I just apparently don't seem to be able to do that. I don't want to do that. I like talking a bit more and expressing more of a story. So, if you've watched this far, thank you very much. I've sat here deliberately tonight because she believed she could, so she did. At the end of the day, I believed in myself. Even in those low moments, I believed that I would figure it out, and I did. And you can do the same. So that's my message to you today, folks. All the love in the world. JJ, may you rest in peace. I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for everything you gave me. And yeah, think if it doesn't matter how long it takes. If you're on the right path, if what you're heading for is what you want, what you need, what you deserve, it will come to you. But let go of how it needs to happen and when it needs to happen, and allow it to happen. That's my message for today, folks. Love you all. See you in a video tomorrow. Bye for now.